And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to Topstep's live Q&A with founder and CEO Michael Patak. Michael, how are you?
What's up, Danny? How are we doing?
Doing pretty well. We just talked about this. Coming to you live from two different locations. I'm here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Michael,
Sunny Aspen, Snowmass.
Rein it in a little bit there. You're peaking your microphone a little bit. So obviously you're excited to talk about today's topics. We have a lot of exciting things to talk about today, but first, before we get going, this is obviously on YouTube, so this is recorded. If you're not able to stay the whole time, go back and check it out. If you have questions, drop them into the chat. In doing so, we have, as you've already seen, a team of top steppers in there engaging. You've got JD, the Dancing Bear, you got Hogue, Mick, a number of people from Topstep will be in there. They're going to help answer some of those questions, but please drop your questions in there. And we're going to do our best to get to every question possible, whether it's in the chat or pre-submitted to us. So make sure you send those our way. And I think we got some exciting news and things, updates to kind of touch on real quick, Michael. So if you want to kick us off on some of these changes.
I am going to kick us off. So as anybody that has an email account that is connected to Topstep has seen, we've done a lot of cool stuff. It's probably hit your email here in the last month, a variety of things. I mean, one of them was the direct path, or the more linear path that we put together, express funded account, complete the trading combine, earn express funded account. And then there's the live funded account there for traders as well. So that's really exciting. We launched that one. The multiple funded accounts, this is pretty exciting, that we just launched recently. To really help traders that have different strategies. We're not one of those discount prop firms that are out there hawking 20, 50, a bazillion accounts, selling you scratch card tickets that don't have a payout policy that's worth the crap. We are we are working with traders to help them become better by actually using multiple accounts for different strategies. Danny, you're a short time frame trader. You also have a long time frame look at certain markets as well. Two strategies right there that you could be testing, creating, or honing in the trading combine and earning a funded account. There's also folks out there that have really one strategy that's crushing it, and multiple accounts allows you to kind of scale up that strategy with a trade copier up to 3. Again, once you start doing more than that, you spread yourself thin. So this is exciting. This helps traders with different time frames. This helps traders with different products that they want to trade. I know me personally, when I was trading in the pits, I would have my account that I trade in the pits, and I had another account that I had options, and they were on S&P options. So I was Dow futures trader on my primary account. This is the one that I was probably the most talented and in line with and in tune with strategy. And there's like, I want to try another one, but I don't want it to affect this account. So that's why I had 2 accounts when I was a floor trader. So that's really exciting. The other one is funded traders always return to step 2. We announced that one, and I just want to confirm to everybody that any funded trader, if you've ever made it to the funded level at any point, we've been around for, I don't know, a good 11, 12, 13 years, somewhere around there, give or take. And if you've ever been funded, you can start back right at step 2, one step away from the funded level. And we want to encourage anybody that's earned that opportunity to get back in the markets, get back with Topstep, and we'll help you ensure that you're one step away from the funded account. The other one is free coaching. This is a big investment Topstep is making. We have some kick-ass coaches. We also have some great feedback that we're getting from those that have been coached. Now, I know I had a coach / mentor when I was going through my hard times and tribulations, as every trader has when you get started. And also as you're traversing, finding your way and your style and your approach and your mindset and your discipline and building that whole foundation that you need to have. having a coach is really going to help you. I encourage everybody here. It is offered to anybody trading with Topstep, a free coaching opportunity. These coaches have traded on the floor. These coaches have traded for years. They see behind the curtain of trading patterns and performance and community, and they can share what they're seeing. They see thousands and thousands of traders. They've talked to hundreds and hundreds of traders, and just ask them, what do you see? What do you see works? What do you see that doesn't, or just vent to them. That's free coaching. Take advantage of that. That's here at Topstep, and it's for everybody trading with Topstep. Another cool one is our Discord. That's growing like crazy. And without keep rattling things off, we got another cool one coming out called Topstep TV. I want you guys to get excited about this one. It's not really too much to explain because the end of the word kind of explains it, but you're going to be able to tune in and engage and kind of like what we're doing right now, but during the trading day. And we're going to have great contributors on there. I'm going to be on there more. Danny's bright, smiley, beautiful face will be on here, and many others. So that's exciting. And it's a whole cool high level production that we're going to be putting out there for you all. Completely free, of course. Tune in and be a fly on the wall or ask questions and participate as chats happen. But the Discord, Topstep TV, those are great community areas of Topstep to just, again, be a sponge or participate as actively as you want to.
Awesome. Michael, you mentioned the Express funded account right in the beginning. We did have a question on that. Is it the same as the funded account? Can you just break down the differences and how the Express funded account works a little bit?
Yeah, good question. Vegas, you said it right on. Express funded account is a simulated account. Your trades inform our trades. So this is a great way for us to manage our risks, for you to continue doing what you're doing, same opportunity that you're going to have, whether you're on a live funded account or not. We do pull up traders continually on live funded accounts. This is something that our risk management team now has a pull up process. It's something that we have been working for over a year. We've had this for over a year. And it's a great way for everybody to have an opportunity to keep participating in the markets, keep the same opportunity that you had and that you were expecting at the funded level, and for Topstep to manage our prop firm risk, and for us to basically help us make informed decisions with the trades that you all in the Express funded account are making. So this is exciting for all of us. We've been having this is out for over a year, and now we're just kind of making it mainstream.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to be clear, you can earn payouts through the Express funded account. One of the biggest feedbacks we've had over the last, like Michael alluded, we've been around for 11, 12, 13 years. One of the biggest feedbacks we've always had is the process from step 2 into that live funded account was a long process because we have to go through brokerage partners. This is going to expedite that process, get you paid quicker for your trading, which is pretty
And
awesome.
We've had a live funded account before anybody else. We created the industry. So this is our way. We've always seen a little bit of a stumble from folks that go from being evaluated to live. This is a great segue for that. And it's also a great way for us, our prop firm, to manage the risk and for the traders to have the same exact benefit and financial opportunity as they had joining Topstep.
Awesome. And then are you planning on, this one's kind of fun in regards to the coaching, planning on creating a mentorship program?
Yeah, it's already created. It's called free coaching. I would highly, again, some of these coaches that we have right now, they're kick ass. You go on there, they will leave you with motivators, tips. They will share things that they see in your trade reports. They'll share things that they see of other successful traders at Topstep. We all know this business is full of traders aspiring to be great. We all know this business has a lot of people that fall to the wayside and need help. So the goal of free coaching is really to help people that come out there and say, hey, I need the help, or people that just want a shoulder to lean on, or just tell me about trading. Tell me about what you've seen that works or anything like that. You can't get more mentor than that. Now, the great thing about a free coach is we can hand you off to somebody and say, hey, Danny, we've been doing coaching for 4 sessions now. You've talked to me about, really connecting with a trading buddy. I got like three guys that all trade S&Ps. I know you trade S&Ps. Are you interested in me introducing you to them? Our coaches can do that. So these are all things you got to ask. And not Topstep, but trading is all you get what you put into it. And you got to go out and you got to get the things or ask for the things and work with people that are going to support you on those things. And Topstep is all here but you got to get out there and you got to ask. And first starts with scheduling a time with a free coach.
Absolutely. And trading mentorship is vital for any trader out there. I've had them. Topstep's now making it a lot easier to find people to work with. At the end of the day, you want to find someone that you trust, that you align with, you have similar goals. Don't be quiet. Don't lurk behind, get out there, ask those questions, meet people. That's really what's going to help find you the mentor that works best for you. I will say one of my biggest lessons learned is you don't just ask someone to be a mentor. You'll get to know them a little bit. You'll learn about them. You share a little bit about yourself. And then eventually it's like, hey, would you be willing to work with me? I really like your style. And I think, that was one of my biggest lessons.
It's like building a relationship with a new friend.
Exactly. Continue bringing these questions in. We're going to dive into some of the questions that were submitted earlier as well. So Michael, right off the bat, I like this one. I don't have a credit card, but how can I purchase a trading combine? Are there other ways to purchase? Yes. PayPal.
Well, PayPal. Yes.
PayPal. Actually something we're looking into too, opening up more ways to purchase a trading combine. I like this one as well. I really like this one. Will there ever be an option to pull trade history from your account on the Topstep dashboard, something like a CSV file?
Yeah, we're working on that one. That's on the short list of things to do. We have some very, very I think probably the biggest news stuff coming out in the next 90 days, literally in the next 90 days, like big, not like one thing, a few things. So that item that you just talked about, Danny, is not on that list because these are bigger items, but that is on our short list of how do we make the trading dashboard, the trade report, and all that be more shareable, more exportable to your spreadsheets and things like. So we're working on it.
Awesome.
I think you're gonna like the first stuff that we do here in the next 90 days. It's going to be way more impactful than that one, but that's a great feature.
Absolutely. And I do apologize. I do still have a little bit of a cough over the last couple of weeks. So apologize in advance if you have headphones on. Speaking of, releases and products coming out, Michael, we've had a lot of questions in the past. We have questions right now. Can we talk about micros and where Topstep's going with those?
Yeah, that's another thing, guys. I've heard you let it. Well, that is on the next short list. So when I say short list, the 4 items that we're going to be doing here in the next 90 days will take us to, well, it's April 420. Happy 420 to those folks. July. So then H2 second half of the year, we're going to be bringing out some more, I'd say dashboard and things like improvements that you're going to kind of in line with that.
Awesome. Thank you. And for those out there that are new to Topstep, July is always a big month for us because we have what? Our birthday.
Yeah, but Danny, I don't know if it's going to be about our birthday this year, and I don't want to tip the hat on that either.
All right. Moving on here. I like this question as well, because I think it's important as traders, it's hard to compare yourself to other traders, but I think we want to in a sense. But Michael, on average, how many times do you see traders fail on the combine before they finally pass to get funded? And this comes from another Milwaukee guy.
Well, let's just say if you said how long does it take to be consistently profitable, you're talking months. So I've always heard in the prop firm I was at, if after 18 months, you haven't found some level of consistency, you could be consistently scratched. That's good. But if you haven't found consistency, which means you're holding your P&L because you're disciplined in a stable way over and over, then it may not be completely the right avenue for you. That's why I'll answer this as however long it takes you. Some people come here and they're very experienced and they're maybe out of tune of the markets and they can get funded right away. Some people, they've never been funded, guys. They've never. So there's 2 ways to look at that. You're like, well, there's a problem with Topstep. No, there's not. There's the most challenging endeavor you're ever going to take is trading. So when you're on that journey, the journey's tough and it takes fortitude, intestinal fortitude, discipline. Discipline should create consistency because you have a trading plan. And when you do all that, so that's a very hard question. I'm going to say it takes people within 1 month to do it. It takes people, they've never been able to get funded in time. So on average, I don't know, 6 months to a year. So if you're talking about that, I would tell anybody to slow down and don't keep resetting. So you can at least digest every time you make a mistake. Maybe you blow up your account, then you can pick up your journal. You can start writing, and you can post a journal in the trade report, and you can kind of track and get yourself. This is working out. This is like going to the gym. It's like we're selling the opportunity to come to our gym, perform in front of us. Oh, and by the way, we got a trainer that's going to come over here and help you work out and help you condition completely free. And you put that all together, and if you're performing at a high level, we're going to fund you and pull you up. So all that being said, some people never make it to the pros. Some people never make it out of high school ball. So that's just the toughest question to always.
Yeah, I've always correlated trading to golf. They're two individual experiences. If you're a golfer out there, and I know not everyone's a golfer, but we just had the Masters on, and you saw some of the greatest golfers in the world struggle. And you saw some of the, names that you hadn't heard do really well at the Masters. I look at a reset, it's kind of like a mulligan. Hey, my dad always told me you take a breakfast ball off the first tee, but you can't always mulligan. You got to practice. We have here at Topstep with every trading combine, you get a practice account. Take the mulligans over in the practice account. Like, you treat it like the driving range. You really want to focus on something, utilize that practice account. Great place to do it. Trying new things, right? You want to change your swing up a little bit because you want to get a little more power. You want a little bit more club head speed. Don't do it in the combine. Do it on a practice account. Don't do it on the, at the Masters. Take it to the driving range.
And if the practice isn't working, then the combine is a much cheaper alternative than going to put your money in the markets. I'll say that till I'm blue in the face. I would defend that till my last dying breath. You got to learn a simulated experience. And you're like, well, I don't take the simulated serious. All right, then get in the combine. You have a little skin in the game. You take that serious, and you put yourself in the right position. I lost $30,000 real money accounts. It's ridiculous. There's a lot. Trust me, we get emails all the time. I lost X amount of thousands of dollars. Glad this opportunity exists. It just never existed prior. And it took people a while to find out that there was actually a big problem in this industry, and there's no place to practice and experiential learn as you create, hone, and develop your strategy. So it's not going to come to everybody. It's not going to be an overnight sensation. And that's welcome to trading, because it's not like that. Even if you went to a brokerage, and look, the brokerages are only going to slow you down or stop you once you can't meet margins. So that gets way more expensive, and I've been there.
Awesome. Just a couple of things to clarify. If you need a trading coach, you can find that right on our website. There's coaching. There's a link for coaching up top. It'll direct you to that. If you can't find it, support@topstep.com. You can always email us. You can always call us too. We're here 6 days a week, like 12 hours a day, 888-407-1611. There's always someone there to answer your call during regular hours. Those are posted on our website as well. So if you have questions on that, please reach out to our support team. One of the best support teams I've ever worked with for a company I've worked with, and just tried to reach out. So check out them.
Yeah. And real quick, Douglas, the reports show profit or loss. Trade reports do. Our coaches can see all your trades. Yeah. So we can see your trades.
Absolutely.
We can dive much deeper.
Awesome. Michael, I like this question. I think this is a really good question. Do you see potential regulatory framework that could affect the way Topstep operates?
I think you always have to think about regulatory and what you're providing to the industry. I know Topstep since day one has always wanted to provide a place for traders to safely learn, create, test, or hone a strategy without risking their kids' college fund, and then provide them an opportunity to get funded. And that opportunity that we started in 2010, we really kicked off in 2012, is now a multi-billion-dollar industry. If you look at how big and how many different funding companies there are out there. So it's exciting to be the inventor of this idea, and it's also exciting to be a part of putting together an association that's going to help govern this industry. And Topstep's leading that with a couple other very well-known, very reputable funding opportunities. What's great about this is the ones that are starting this association, which will be open to every member or every funding opportunity out there, is to set some standards and rules of what we're really doing this for. I know some of you folks have seen the so-called discount prop firms come in with the flash sales and the aggressive marketing and the multiply your profits 20 times accounts to 100. You got to think about what's in the best interest for the trader. And if you're feeding their addictions, if you're feeding them things that are going to create a bad habit, you're not helping them. And I feel very strongly about this because like I said, lost three $30,000 trading accounts. Nobody stopped me in my brokerage account, TD Ameritrade. And this is when they were called Ameritrade back in 1998. Kept taking my money until it kept getting disabled because I didn't have enough money in it. And then I had to keep funding on my own. There's no Gamblers Anonymous in this business. There's nobody saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't risk your kid's college fund. So we're not going to prey on anybody. And if anything, we're going to work with the leaders in the space, and you'll be finding out shortly who those leaders are. We'll be coming out together saying, this is how we believe the industry should be governed. And one of it is not aggressive marketing. The other one is some other items that you'll hear about more that we don't believe are right for the industry because we don't believe it helps traders. Quite honestly, I know you may not think it or not, as a business owner, I care deeply about helping traders. I am a trader, been trading all day, not a good trading day for me, but, and then the market sold off, but you can tell what position I had her on earlier today. So yeah, this is something that Topstep and we heavily invest in. That's why we have free coaching. That's why we have free resources to help you learn and get better. Our mission is to help people who trade turn into better traders with healthier habits. Like we all know that not everybody's going to get funded, but at least we can try to help you become a little bit better trader with a little bit healthier habits. And the only way to do that is to lead you down a path that's going to provide you the opportunity to have a healthier habit. And that's why this governing association is coming together. So you're going to find out more about that. Hopefully you guys get excited that that's coming to help protect the space and help validate the space with, the regulatory community, because we like everything the regulatory stands for as far as helping retail traders, protecting retail traders. This industry wildly protects retail traders by giving them a safe place to learn. We just want to make sure that they are, every company that's doing what we're doing is doing it in a way that's guiding traders to become better traders with healthier habits. And I know that's our mission, but it is going to be roughly the mission that we put together, because every one of these companies that are part of the governing association that we're coming out with believes the same thing.
Absolutely. Thanks for touching on that. And I think at the end of the day, we're in the financial sector. You always have to think about regulation. I do it. That's my job. I think about it all day long. What can we do the best way, the safest way possible, especially in finances, because there is a lot on the line for a lot of people. So let's lighten it up a little bit. Really quick though, there is just a clarity. We talked about the express funded accounts. Michael, I know you alluded it to already, but this question came up. How do you guys justify payouts to people in the express accounts? Can you just clarify that again?
How do we justify payouts? Your trades inform our trades. So your trades are helping our prop firm make trade decisions. So whatever we do with those trades is our decision, whether we do nothing with the trades or whether the trades inform us on making a better trade decision. And we deem your express funded account trades valuable enough that we're willing to pay you a portion of your trades as that data that you're providing to us. So you're data generators, which is great. You're helping us influence our decisions. We're helping you segue yourself into a live account. You're having the same opportunity as you're trading. It is a little bit more nerve-wracking to trade from Trading Combine into an express funded account, because you have earned something, and then you are now getting the ability to take payouts on your trading success. So that's kind of the mutual win-win here. And then we still have the live account for those traders that are absolutely kicking ass. We're not going to let your trades inform our trades anymore. Your trades are going to be underneath our prop firm brokerage account, and those are going to be live trades. And that's when we really start to work with those individuals even closer, because they're putting up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, more in their account, 1,000. And when we do that, your trades aren't going to be informing our trades. We want your trades on our prop firm sub account.
Awesome. Thanks for clarity. Some clarity on that. Let's talk about a couple of trading questions. We've talked about this. We have a number that have come in. So first off, I think this might want to just be a little bit of a clarity. Will we be allowed to ever close a position one at a time? So I think this is scaling out of a trade. So Michael, if you can just talk about, someone has a larger position on how to scale out of that trade a little bit. I think this person has an assumption that you can only close all 5, say, at once, but you can scale out of that trade. Can you talk about scaling out?
Yeah, there's scaling in, scaling out. I always say you should really only scale in when you have holding on to a winner, because too many people scale into losers. For lack of a better word, losers add to losers and winners add to winners. So think about that when you think about scaling. So when you're scaling out of a position and you have a position on, so maybe you put 5 lots on and you're long, the market starts rallying. You want to peel one off, peel one off, peel one off, peel one off. Yeah, traders do that. And I just change your size up. You were at a 5 lot to get in, change it to a 1 lot. And then as the markets, stay in bid and rallying up, you should be trading to your plan though. So regardless, so whatever your plan tells you that you should be getting out after X amount of ticks, profit, whatever you put on it, that's up to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Next one we have is, I only have time to trade at night. Any products you'd recommend in nighttime trading?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Danny, I'll kick it back to you.
I can jump on that one. So first off, I think you're going to have a hard time trading the big 4, the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, the Russell, or even looking at treasuries. But there are some great products with overnight opportunities. I would look at the yen, which is a great currency to trade. The yen, because they're about 12 hours time difference between the United States, the yen is a pretty good product, especially with a lot of the countries looking at using that as their basis value now. The yen's a good one. Crude oil sees really good action in the London session on the London Open. So you'll see some activity around that in the middle of the night on crude oil. So that one, those are 2 really good products to look at. And you can always look at currencies. Currencies can be a really good futures product to trade in the overnight session.
Those are great ones.
I traded yen for a long time. I like the yen. What a realist. I like this. This is good because especially the end part of this question, Michael. What are realistic daily goals when trading in, say, 150K account? Not money wise, but when you're looking at points.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you're trading. You're trading S&P points.
Let's talk S&P points.
I mean, a handle is 4 points, which is $50. Tick and S&P is $12.50. So you move a handle, that's $50. You move 4 handles, that's what, 200? So 4 handle trade and you're up $200, 50K combine. I mean, if you're doing $200 a day on average, winners and losers and all that kind of stuff. So if you're having days where you go from up 200 to down 200 to up 500, call it a day. Next day up 200, down 200, end of day down 200, call it a day. You build an average. I mean, $200 a day trading average is $1,000 a week. $1,000 a week is 50 grand a year. 50 grand a year. How much time are you putting into this? And is it making you more than your current gig? I would never leave your current gig until you have consistently made money for at least 6 months straight and pulling money out of the market every month before you ever think about losing just another income stream. It's not even technically smart to lose another income stream in general, and it just puts more. But $200 a day on average. I mean, if you do that, I mean, we're not in this business to make $50 a day, and we're not in this business probability wise that we're even going to get to $10,000 a day, and stuff like that. Those are size trading. Start with $100 a day, get your average going there for many months, pulling money out of the market, get yourself funded, get yourself up to a funded account, show $100 a day trading average, $200 trading average. It's $3 to $4 grand a month that you're putting into your padding of your account. Take out $1,500 a month. You still have great padding, and keep growing that account, and then learn to have an account management strategy where you're pulling money out at the end of each month. So daily average $100 to $200, and show that. If you want to roll your eyes about it, because I did back when I was a beginner trader, I'm like, I'm doing this to make $1 million. Then show yourself that you can first do $100 a day average for many months. You're like, well, there's a lot of time that passed. Don't worry. This is business. Time is irrelevant. Once you get that down, you'll make as much as you ever not dream of, but you'll make more than, if you set your expectations lower, you can beat your expectations. But when you come into this business saying, I want to be $1 million a year trader, who the hell doesn't? You got to set yourself back down to like center field, or at least bring yourself down to earth, and then at least prove yourself you can be a scratch trader for a month straight of just trading every day. And by the end of the month, I scratched. That's month,
success. That's a good
success.
trader.
Yeah.
Look at the generic numbers out there. Say 90% fail, 10% succeed.
It's higher.
If you're scratching, you're doing well.
Yeah, not more than that fail, but that's why do everybody fail? Because I don't ever want to discourage anybody, but like the undisciplined pay the market and the disciplined get paid by the market. So there's so many more people that are undisciplined in this business. There's people that are undisciplined, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, all that kind of stuff. They help people get healthier, but people get in bad habits. Somebody taught them the bad habits, going back to that discount prop firm rant I was on, or it's just too hard to overcome something that has consumed you and something you've always done. As far as doubling down, tripling down, blow up, doubling down, tripling down, blow up on an account. So I'm not using that whole insanity line when you do things over and over again, because they say that all the time in trading. You guys have heard it, but honestly, you got to break yourself out of that shell. And it starts with, Danny, you just said it, scratch trading. I knew it in the very beginning that I didn't know in the very beginning. I was told in the very beginning, then I finally knew that it starts with scratch trading. If you can show consistently scratching, and then you're like, okay, this next month, I'm going to average $50 a day. This next month, I'm going to average $100 a day. And then guess what? After a year, you can go into the markets. I keep looking over here because that's where my screens are at. You can go in the markets and know confidently you can pull out $500 a day because you have conditioned yourself to handle swings and momentum, and you've seen every different type of market setup and market condition and volatile markets, no volatility, no movement, and you've been able to trade that, or you've been able to sit on your hands and you've taught yourself, you've diluted the power of FOMO and fear of all that kind of stuff, and you've conditioned yourself. That's the training that goes back to being in the gym, working out to become a professional, and also having the free coach or the trainer that walks up to you and say, hey, Danny, I've seen this in your trading. So yeah, $100, $200 a day.
That's not a bad thing. And I think what's important too, right? The market state and the ranges you're going to see in the market differ every single day. Mm-hmm. So I've always been a proponent. It's really hard to put a cap on your profits, to say, yep, I need to, you've heard Hogue talk about his story about back in the day. He used to try and make, I don't remember what his number was. He has a number that he used to try and make, and he'd be 2 ticks away, and he'd try and make that 2 ticks, and it would hurt him. Yep. It's recognizing when you're done. Ranges change. There is a great tool out there called ATR, Average True Range. You can look at it over the last 30 days. And you can go, okay, the average true range over the last 30 days is this. That's going to help you kind of understand, okay, if I can take a small percentage of that range, that average range, that's pretty darn good. As a day trader, you can't expect to make 100% of a range. That's
a great point. If you don't even know the range, but then you're trying to pull out more than the range is even given people, then you're like, man, you would have to literally carve up the market perfectly, buy the lows, sell the highs of that range perfectly to even get to your expectations of what you want to make. So you got to adapt to when the markets are like, it's the most beautiful profession in the world when you get in harmony with it. It's the very beginning where it's just so turbulent. It feels like you're on an airplane and you got to put your seatbelt on, but many people don't have the seatbelt on. They're just running down the aisles and putting trades on. Put the seatbelt on. Think safety first. Think downside first. Don't think multiplying your account 20 to a bazillion times with the other copying accounts. I'm going to keep going back to that because it teaches bad habits. Focus on the downside first. Focus on scratching, being a scratch trader first. Show yourself that you can do that for a couple moons. That's many moons, I should say, many days. And then get yourself in a consistent flow. And if it was easy, everybody was doing it. If it was overnight sensation, then you'd have a lot more people that would be here. It's a tough business, but you can do it. It's totally possible. I've done it. I'm from Nebraska and I grew up on a farm. So it took me a while, but I had to baptism by fire with $30,000 real money, $30,000, year of that one, year of the next one. And the other one took me about 1.5 years to completely implode. It's just, nobody should have to pay that high tuition to learn the markets.
I think it goes back to what we said in the beginning, find a mentor. I was very fortunate. I've had one since day one. I was born with one. He ditched me at the hospital.
This jacket right here, when I was trading, I was lifting my hands up in trading and I got hit in the ribs. My mentor stood right next to me and he knew I was down. I was down like a couple thousand for the day. I didn't lose a couple thousand in a day. I really watched. I had great downside control. And I wasn't a $1 million a year trader. I was a mid 6-figure a year trader. And I knew I could pull out $500 a day, no problem. I knew $1,000 a day was now getting me into a good spot. And again, average. There'll be days where I had $2,000 up. There'll be days that I'm $1,000 average. So I found my sweet spot. But when I first started, I'm like, I'm going to make I made $3,000 a day. If I do $3,000 every day for 5 days, it's 15 grand. And then no. So it's just kind of, and I shake, I'm just passionate about it because it's really challenging, but it's very doable. And it's just like, slow down, enjoy the journey, because it's your own personal journey. But if you have a mentor, like you just said, it makes that journey so much more enlightening. Misery loves company. Sometimes your mentor is going to be like, I got crushed today. I'm like, so did I. And then they're going to tell you how much they lost. And you're going to be like, well, it wasn't as bad as mine. And you're going to feel better. And that's just one nice little thing to have a trading buddy, because you can talk shop together.
Exactly. I mean, I just got off the phone before we went into this. I got off the phone with my mentor, called to check in on me. It is my dad. But I've been fortunate, he's been a mentor. I have a few of them, but called in to check on me. And the one thing I learned is when I first started, I thought I would be having a mentor like that. I thought I would be equal to their success over time. That's not the case. These markets change, how the action involved in them changes, the liquidity changes, the accessibility changes. Everything's ever evolving. So take those lessons and apply them to yourself. It's why it's like one of those things I've always said is it's really hard to be in a trade room and just copying trades of someone else.
You can't.
It's their job's to put the trade on. Your job is to determine, does that fit me?
Yeah. The guy I sit next to, he still calls me PTK. I still have a text message or whatever, group text with the Dow futures traders, all incredible guys. Like the guy stood next to me. I knew every trader he put on. I knew when he got out, when he got in. I never copied him. I never cause I'm like, I couldn't handle his swings mentally. Like he would take bigger swings than I. He was probably a high 6-figure to 7-figure a year trader. No problem. He had me beat by 15 more years in the markets. I was one of the youngest guys in the pits, but he took me under the wing. I didn't go, hey, what'd you buy here? Why'd you buy here? I just watched and listened. And I didn't copy him. I learned from him. And that's the great thing about going to our Discord or working with our free coaches. You learn from people. And that's the greatest thing about traders. Why do you put so many indicators and charts and things and all? Because you want to get information. And sometimes this information overload, but you get all this information, you bring it all in here and your experience. And then the clicking is our behaviors. And that's where the trader really comes out. And when you click to buy, click to sell, get in and out, that's you being a trader and you're digesting all that information. So I look at my mentor, see how he was doing. I could see him getting beat up and be like, man, today's not really a very good day to trade. He's taking heat. I showed up here an hour later and he's already down. I'm going to take it really patient today because today might not be a good day to trade. Remember, not trading is trading. So it's just get with a coach and then a coach can get you with, if you want to say, hey, you know what? I really want to I want to find a trading buddy. I had a trading buddy even before the trading pits, AOL back in the day, 1997. The guy owned a heating and air conditioning company. Had lost $500,000. He was crying to me on the phone, and we were in the same trading class. But I mean, you're traders. If you can't talk to other traders and support other traders, then you need to get the hell out of this community.
And don't ever be afraid to ask questions. Some people use language that you don't understand. Ask what that means.
Yeah. Hey, what'd you just mean about blah, blah, blah? I'm like,
I get it all the time. I've been around this industry my entire life. I've been on the pits since I was a little kid. I used to know what brokers to run up to. You got
lucky to have your dad as a mentor. That would have been very cool. Yeah.
But I've been around forever and I still hear things come up all the time. And I'm like, what does that mean? And it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean you're dumb or anything like that. It just means you got to continue. You're constantly learning in this. Ask those questions.
Danny, everybody here listening, me talking, nobody knew what a bid or offer was when you first started. There's a point in the game.
I had a cheat sheet on understanding.
Yeah. There's all these things. You know nothing until you start. Just goes like anything. If I learned to play the guitar, I'm like, what's I don't even know notes and stuff. I don't know how to read things, but you got to get to all that stuff where you have to understand as a musician. I mean, a musician is understanding what to do with all that kind of. Traders is you have to understand how to stay in tune with the markets, how to stay in tune with yourself, and then have a rhythm on how you trade. And then it's just like John Hogan should be on here when we talk about musicians, because he's a musician and he's a trader.
Exactly. I had cheat sheets. I used to carry in my jacket. I had 2 cards that explained the language, because you can screw up really easy if you screw up one word. I mean, Michael, you remember for and at, 2 different things. You paid this for this and you sold them at this. You got to know those differences. And don't be afraid to ask questions. I think that's the biggest thing. And you can check out our Discord, which is a great group of great community. Dolby Time's extremely active in there, old time Top Stepper, and now here at Top Step with us. So make sure you do check out that and ask questions. Don't ever be afraid to ask questions, because, like teachers always said, there's no question's a bad question.
Yep. You'll shorten your learning curve too. And if you can do anything that shortens your learning curve without finding shortcuts, then you're in a good spot.
Awesome. All right. A few more questions before we wrap things up, but I want to make sure we get to as many as possible. And if we didn't get to your question today, Top Step is live multiple times a day. Michael alluded to it, Top Step TV around the corner, just means more access. So if we didn't get it today, chime in on any of our live streams, support@topstep.com. You can call. We have open phone lines, 888-407-1611. So don't ever hesitate to reach out if you have questions. This one I like, Mike. Oh, go ahead.
Mike H, trading is like a sport and traders are like athletes. When I first came to Chicago, I got hired at a prop firm, and he looks at me. He's like, he's like, if you can't, this is Chicago, big sports town. He's like, if you can't become a professional athlete in Chicago, you become a trader. It's the next best thing. So I always call athletes of the marketplace. So funny you said that.
I mean, I can allude to a lot of Division I athletes that never made it in the professional sports that turned into traders. I know a number of them.
The regimen and the routine of being an athlete rolls over to being, because you come up there, if you're swinging at every pitch, you're undisciplined. You don't have patience. Okay. So that kind of trade in every trade, every setup. It's my setup. It's my setup. I saw a fastball. No. How about you let a couple of those go by, and then you just see how, and then let the pitch come to you, let the game. There's a lot of ways to do it. That's why we do analogies with sports quite a bit. Your coach would do that. Your free coach would definitely talk to you and bring sports into it.
Johnny's Ice House on the west side of Chicago has a trader specific hockey league that plays at 3:30s because no one else is done with work, but traders are done. So they play at 3:30s. And I used to be in that league, and it was a lot of guys that were Division I or former pros that are now professional traders. So there's a big correlation there. Diving into a couple more questions here, Michael. Want to know if we'll ever be able to hold a trade overnight.
Well, we've had the swing account, and we rolled out of that one. Not very many people hold accounts or like hold positions overnight. Swear to God, I thought it was going to be different. And then you have enough people, you offer this swing trading account, and then you're like, hey, what's the stats on how many people actually hold? Well, only 10% of people actually hold positions. I'm like, interesting. Okay, well, it's not really. So right now, no. But we've tried it. It just, to each their own. Again, It's a small, to each their own community that really holds positions for a whole week or longer. So,
and I think one of the things to think about too, right? When you hold a position, if you're not married to it, if you're not in the money, sometimes you're willing to hold that trade overnight because it's against you and you just don't want to realize those losses. And so you continue to hold.
That's the worst when you're in that position.
To be that force out kind of helps you just get out of something.
Every day is anew. At the end of the day, boom, you read through, like you digest what happened the day. I was just talking to you about like being short and now it breaks off. And then, and I'm going to do my, analysis, so to speak, of understanding, where when it sold off at the time of the day, what entry that I got so wrong that I got stopped out of, that busted me out for today. So, but that's one day's done. Tomorrow's a new day. And I always treat it each, like the month of a calendar month, 4 quarters in a month. I treat it like a game. There's 4 weeks in a month. And then the first week I would treat like the first quarter, get a good. So then each month, by the end of the month, I put up put up good dollars, like 10 grand. I would at least try to shoot for that. If you're not, shoot for your number, but then you get to a certain momentum going, and then you're putting that up, pulling it out, putting it up, pulling it out. And by the end of the season, the year, you're like, man, I traded really well this season. I had, however many months of winning months, and I pulled that money. I never had a deposit back into my account. I never had to go back to the trading combine. I stayed funded the entire time. It's all possible.
And I'll tell you, as someone who does hold a lot of positions long-term, the stress on every open, I'm a pretty active crude oil trader, and everyone saw earlier this month that gap of $5 on crude oil on a Sunday night. You don't want to be in those positions. It is not fun. I can honestly tell you, there's a $5 gap is not fun to sit through when you can't control it.
Yeah. And even going back to like 2020, March, you guys know how much stuff happens over the weekend where like the Fed and everything starts talking, like they're like, RBS just bought, Sunday afternoon. And the next thing the market's like, what? Up or down, screaming. So
and that can happen between, the 3 o'clock close to the 5 o'clock open. Those things can happen. There's information overload to these markets. Things happen. It goes, I remember you alluded to 2020, lock limit on pit open at 8:30s. I remember all of us sitting there when that happened. And just going, okay, it goes straight to lock limit to barely, it doesn't even open. And it just continues to lock up. Like if you find yourself getting caught in that, that's not a safe place to trade. And maybe over time, as you build your account and your experience, and then, maybe you end up in your own account somewhere down the road and you have that capital and you've kind of developed some of those risk management skills.
You get two accounts. You can have your one that you're actually doing well in. And if you want to test this whole new holding positions over the weekends and all that kind of stuff, test it, get consistent at it, do it in the trading combine or do it wherever you want, in a simulated experience, prove yourself, fine. But no, it's not as common as I don't know, maybe some people think.
Yeah. And I can tell you,
natty gaps,
sometimes it just helps to be flat and de-stress. I've lost a lot of hair. That's why I wear a hat a lot. I'm working on it, but you don't want to add that stress to your life. The goal with this type of stuff is to de-stress a little bit, to take some control into your life. If you can't control your position, it can be an anxious 2-hour wait.
Give me some rapid fires, Danny.
What's that?
Give me some rapid fire questions.
Well, we've done pretty good. Do you use Bookmap?
Yeah, no, I don't, but a lot of people do. I still use the same software I used in 2003. Not going to move my camera, but it's just like plain platform. I don't.
I'm the same one as well.
Yeah, you find with what you dance with, the one that brung you. Johnny Hogan said that one. And if it works for you, stick with what you got. So I hear great things about Bookmap. So
yeah, there's some great educators out there. I keep it pretty simple as well. A few indicators, a few lines, and the feel of the market. How important is back testing from your point of view?
Forward testing to me is the most important. When I say forward testing, real time, that's why I created Topstep. I remember back in the day, like when I created a prop firm before Topstep, and when I just evaluated anybody, and a lot of Ivy League schools that I would pull from. They're not any better traders than any junior college or any Hard Knocks student. So everybody that either came from trading at some point, I have a back test that I'm going to share with you. I'm like, that's great, but whatever you share with me, I'm going to still put you on a real-time simulated experience. You're going to show me you can make this without losing this. If you do that, I'll flip the switch and I'll back you. And that's the only way to evaluate anybody, because there's a reason why the disclaimers in the bottom of the CFTC says, prior results aren't indicative of future results and blah, blah, blah. So you want to see somebody as they're playing in the playing field in the current state, the current market conditions. The current market conditions right now has been a quiet week. Then we have sell-off that just sparks. And how does somebody handle these current market conditions? That's what I want to know. And that's why I started the whole evaluation process in 2010.
Rapid fire. I gave a quick one. And we ran with it.
Yeah. Yes, no.
Any strategies or setups that Topstep recommends?
Watch it how the markets open up and move back to settlement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rapid
Everyone
fire.
is going to be different when it comes to a trading strategy. Michael alluded to it. You can know exactly what someone's doing, but how you emotionally react is going to be different. So,
market tends to try to gravitate itself, pull itself back to prior day settlement. So check it out. It doesn't always happen, but it happens quite a bit. So it's a strategy that I've seen our team always keep an eye on.
Absolutely. I'm a big settlement guy. I like settlement. That's the first thing I look at every morning when I sit down. It's a good area to look at.
Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day right now, the battle is over right now. But like an hour ago, the battle is still happening. Price discovery. And then at the end of the day, this is the price. All right, well, out of all the buyers and all the sellers, it ended at 41.54 quarter. Okay. Well, I don't know where it's settled right now. I can't see it, but just making a point. So tomorrow, if it's 41.54 quarter, but it opens up 10 handles higher, just keep an eye on it. Maybe he wants to come back and test that settlement. And if not, maybe you got to trend day up.
I used to always ask the why. And
it's the best thing to do.
One of the things one of the best pieces of advice one of the best pieces of advice I got from a guy that I used to stand next to is sometimes you just can't ask why. Options trading can be a kind of confusing world. And I would ask these why questions. You just know it works, or this is what happens. And the definition behind why is tough, but when it comes to settlement, the why is pretty clear. Big retail money out there bases their position in their P&Ls off of prior day settles. So you end your day with a market close, you run your P&L based off of settlement that day. So when they come in the morning, they know their position is net long or net short. And they're trying to either move the market away from settlement higher because they're net long, or they're trying to move the market lower from settlement because they're net short, or the market's away from settlement. They need to get it back to settlement to get towards a scratch. So they're going to work their position to try and manipulate to be in a good spot based off of where settlement price is. Mm-hmm. So I see the question here. I'll answer it a little bit. Settlement is a calculation, but it's relatively close to the last price traded on a given day. But there is mathematical equation that goes into it.
It's the last price at the end of the day.
But it's the last price at the end of the day. Pit session. So every market has a different time when settlement posts. But that's loosely what settlement is. All right, Michael, I think that's about it for questions here. If we didn't get to yours today, I do apologize. But like I said, Topstep's live all the time. And again, best support team there is out there. So support at topstep.com, 888-407-1611. You can always call in as well. Any final words of wisdom or messages for anyone out there?
I mean, we got some cool stuff coming up. I think you guys will like it. Those that are tuning in right now, like one of them is helping you out at the end of the day, close your positions. Like we got a risk desk that's full of badass guys that are running it. So we're got a cool little trade desk that we're going to be announcing here too, that you can call on your orders and whatnot. Be on the lookout for that. We're going to help you guys in every which way we can to keep you moving forward. I have left positions open. I have accidentally had a working order that I didn't know got filled. We're going to help with the cancel alls and the closing. That should help you avoid the end of the day rule. Really support you there. Talked about free coaching. JJ, you said in here, Topstep has helped me with patience and risk control. Thank you for making me a more consistent and profitable trader. JJ, that's exactly why I initially started Topstep, to help people, because that's how I learned. I learned on a simulator with risk rules. Downside, I had a loss limit, only $300, and I had a $300 daily average. I had to prove myself there. That helped me instill discipline. And those $30,000 real money trading accounts that I had blown out prior to doing this, that didn't teach me anything, because I was chasing the money I had lost. And then I lost all that, moved to Chicago, got with a prop firm on a simulator. And they taught me that to instill discipline, you need to have patience, and you need to have great risk control. You seem like you're on the right path. If we're helping one individual a day or however, I think we're doing good for this industry and setting good habits, and seems like you're on good pace there. So good to hear you say that.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. And apologies. My dog Sarge wanted to chime in here and say hello. He was knocking my microphone and trying to crawl up on me. So he says hi. With that being said, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Michael, thanks for joining me here today.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Hey, trade smart. I always say trade smart, always trade for tomorrow, just so you guys know what that means. Trade smart means everything we were talking about today about trading smart, and the whole, what does that mean? There's skills that you need to build, diluting FOMO and all that, having discipline. That's trading smart. And then always trade for tomorrow. Don't do anything today that won't keep you from trading tomorrow. So that keeps you from blowing up your account. That keeps you from doing anything bad. So always trade for tomorrow. So trade smart, always trade for tomorrow, guys. Take care. And let's go out and get them tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Might be a short day. Window of opportunity might slow, but these markets are still pretty good. A little quiet, but they're good.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, everybody. And shout out to the Topstep team in the chat there. And as always, Holden behind the scenes, keeping things running. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.